Hello, brothers and sisters. This is Mel Astron of America Lodge 385 in Pasadena, California, reporting for IOF TV News. At the IOF pilgrimage to the Tomb of the Unknowns in Arlington, Virginia this May, I had an opportunity to interview Sovereign Grand Master Jimmy Humphrey. In this report, we will hear of how he came to join the Oddfellows and eventually become our Sovereign Grand Master. I hope you enjoy the show.
I'm Jimmy Humphrey. I'm from Savannah, Georgia, and I am the Sovereign Grand Master of the Independent Order of Oddfellows.
Can you tell me a little bit about how you came to be an Oddfellow? A little bit about, you mentioned once to me that some of your family members induced you to join a lodge.
Yeah. I'm one of the folks that have no heritage in Oddfellows. I knew nothing at all about it. My older brother, his father-in-law was very well steeped in Odd Fellowship. Both his mother and father and his father-in-law and mother-in-law were members of the lodge there in Savannah. Old Lion Lodge, the lodges in Savannah were some of the first lodges that were formed in the state of Georgia, and these folks went back 3 and 4 generations. Well, my older brother, when that was sort of like the terms of his marriage contract, for him to marry Ann, he had to join the lodge, and so he joined the lodge, and later on in life, a lot more of us got in. In the 70s, in the very early 70s, one of Otis's other son-in-laws, he had married one of the girls, and that she and my wife and myself were good friends, and he talked to us, and we were sort of semi-interested, but Otis got in a push, got us into the lodge, gave us an application, and I joined the Oddfellows. Knew nothing at all about it, got in. I was initiated with a group of one of the big all-degree days, so I got all 4 degrees at one time. I believe that there was about 16 of us that got the degrees at one then. I was impressed with it. The thing that impressed me was this was in 1971. All of the degrees was done by memory. They were robed. It was a lot of drama. I was not in an acting course or anything like that, but I was impressed with it. I was impressed with the idea that it was teaching, with the teachings that it was, and I enjoyed it. I begun to get very involved in the degree work. It didn't take me long before I started learning parts. Before very long, I could do most everything in the initiatory degree. Even now in my life, I can do the conductor's part or the noble grand's part and do all of that through all 4 degrees with no books and no stuff. And so I enjoyed it. That was how I got into it. And as I got into it and learned a little more and just enjoyed it, basically I think that the reason that I have stayed in it is not not the drama, not the memory work, not the degree work, not that. But I have managed to meet some of the finest people in the world, and that is what has kept me in this order. And I enjoy the people. It's just been an extremely good adventure, and I'm still having a lot of fun with it.
Tell me, how did you come to Sovereign? You were originally a representative for Georgia?
Well, the way that Georgia did the representatives, after I went out as Grand Master in early '80, we had a couple of representatives, and one of the representatives was always elected for 2 years, and then the outgoing Grand Master usually got elected for 1 year. And so in 1980, I went to the first Sovereign Grand Lodge in Toronto. Didn't know much about it. Actually, when I ended up leaving, I still didn't know much about it, and didn't really go back to Sovereign. I never went back as a representative until 1998. And from 1998, I started going back to Sovereign and enjoyed the way things were going. I had more time. I had retired from the fire department, so I could spend time doing other stuff. And my wife and I enjoyed it. We enjoyed the traveling, going to the different places. And I was just interested in working with Sovereign. And then in '02, John Peterson asked me to be one of his officers, and so I served as an appointed officer and just got more involved with the workings of Sovereign, and I stayed a representative until I was asked to run for a warden, which I did a couple of 3 years ago.
Tell me about some of the highlights and lowlights of your adventures as Sovereign Grand Master.
Well, after I was installed as Sovereign Grand Master, one of the first major issues that we did, well, we had to get all of the committees started and the people that I had appointed, but we went to Poland. My wife and I and two of the past Sovereign Grand Masters went to Poland to help institute a Grand Lodge in Poland, which was the first institution of a Grand Lodge in one of the European countries in a very long time. It was a real great affair. I really enjoyed that. It was a lot of pomp and ceremony, which is not my cup of tea, but it was really enjoyable with that. Getting back, it was just a matter of getting the how you say it, the wheel on the roadway or something, and we started working. One of the things that I wanted to do was to get into more communications. For years and years we've heard that the Sovereign Grand Lodge does not communicate well with the grand bodies, and they definitely don't communicate well with the local lodges. It appears that the local lodges have been taken out of the track. Any communication that comes from Sovereign Grand Lodge gets stuck at Grand Lodge and doesn't get down to the local level. And so one of the things I wanted to do was start a video that we could put into the local lodges. And my grandson and myself started working on that. Between the time I was installed and Christmas, we had put out 6 different informational videos, and we had begun to get a good mailing list, and we're getting a lot of feedback, and we were beginning to get some information touching lodges that had not been touched in forever, and trying to explain to them that the Sovereign Grand Lodge was there for them, and also trying to touch a major point, which is our success and our failure is going to come from the local lodge level, and that's where we've got to work. And that was one of the things that I have really enjoyed so far, is getting that done, and I'm really excited about what we're doing now with this IOOF TV. I think that this is definitely the next step that we need to make as a fraternal organization to reach the people that we need to reach, and I'm excited about this. Just really glad to be involved in this.